Hey everybody, Andy Gideon here at the 2018 edition of Air Supremacy over Goshen. Just kind of doing a quick walk of the runway here on Thursday morning. Myself as well as many others got here yesterday. I didn't do any flying, I came after work. But I guess a lot of guys showed up pretty early yesterday, got a lot of flying in. Do a quick pan of the field here. Lots of room. And a shot of our pit area. Of course, all these tents have been rented out. But what's very different about the setup here versus most other events around is when you see these tents here that you can rent. If you don't have a tent rental, most other events you have to go way down there. Not here. Here you can have your own pop-up tent just in a row behind the tents that you can rent. So it keeps everybody kind of closer to the center here, which is absolutely the only way to do it, in my opinion. Hi. If you haven't been able to tell, I got a new tripod, so I've been playing with it. So I'm gonna get some things charged up and let's get this show started. Later. All right, before we get too into the event this year, we're gonna give a quick, we're gonna pop in on Chuck Hamilton real quick here. Even though I'm sure he's gonna promptly ignore me because he looks pretty busy.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
What?
So tell us a little bit about Air Supremacy 2018. What's different? What's better? Where are we at?
It's better, and more better.
Awesome.
We got great weather. We got a great flying site. We got a ton of pilots. Expanded flying hours. We're trying to figure out how to expand it more. We're at a full-scale airport, so we do have some restrictions there, but they've been working great with us, and guys love this place so much they just want to keep on flying. So we're expanded evening flying hours. We're trying to figure out how to expand the morning flying hours. But
we just need to get RJ to get here earlier, right, RJ?
Yeah, that solves everything.
But it's looking for a great weekend. We're having a great time.
Awesome.
Thanks, Andy.
You bet. So we are almost there, folks. Sun's popping up. Getting ready for the pilots meeting here in a little bit, and we'll start flying. Later. Oh no! Hey! Let me see that band. Is that an official? Or did you? Nice. So much for my family show. I know better than that.
Weather looks good. Higher weekend. We're expecting quite a few pilots.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Eddie, how are you?
Doing perfect.
Oh, it's a beautiful day.
Absolutely. Can I? Okay, just making sure. Making sure. Oh, oh man, he's ready to go. We'll let it slide.
Welcome to Air Supremacy 2018. We're airborne.
test, if you will.
Yep. Beautiful. Hey guys, Andy Gideon here with Air Supremacy over Goshen 2018. I'm with the one and only world famous Brian O'Mara, who is a longtime scale competitor and probably most would agree kind of one of the pioneers of scale from what we see now these days. He was one of the guys that was flying scale back in the day when there really was no scale. These guys are what made the scale quality that we see in airplanes today possible. These are the guys that tried the new innovative things. And how long have you been doing this, Brian?
I've been flying RC since 1967, so about 51 years. I started flying scale in 1976, so what was that, about 40 years, over 40 years. I've been to all of the Top Guns since the very first one that Frank Tiano put on, and many of the Scale Masters from the very beginning. I was at the first U.S. Scale Masters that Harris Lee put on, and have attended many of them. I've gotten first place at the U.S. Scale Masters 3 times in team, and I've gotten second at the Top Gun 6 times. So one of these times, I think I have a glass ceiling above my head. But
well, like we discussed earlier, there's nothing wrong with second place.
No,
there's nothing wrong with it.
No, there isn't.
And as we always agree, the most important thing is taking the airplane home.
Yes.
And briefly, tell us about this very small P-47 that you have here.
This is a 1/3 .3 scale P-47, 144-inch wingspan. It's got a 4-cylinder 500cc engine in it. Swings a 4220 prop at about 4,000 on the ground and about 5,000 actually in the air. Unloads 5,000 in the air.
Wow.
It's got telemetry on it, so I know the ground speed on the airplane, the cylinder temperature for all 4 cylinders, RPM, height, and distance, and voltage of all the batteries. There's 5 batteries in the airplane. As of today, there's 209 flights on the airplane. It's been flying since 2011, I believe. it was one of 6 airplanes that Frank Deano designed about 7 or 8 years ago, and this is the one that's flown the most. Like I said, we've got 200 flights on it. The landing gear is Sierra. That's air actuated landing gear. Futaba radio, Futaba servos throughout, 9177 servos. Weighs about 120 pounds. It's a phenomenal flying airplane.
I'll say I've seen you fly it numerous times, and you fly it like it's a Zeroli or a top flight, and that's fantastic.
It's actually a blown up Zeroli, so
yeah.
That's what it started out as. It's a fiberglass fuselage. Sleepy Jean is on the nose art. Sleepy Jean is actually still alive. She's 94 years old now.
Is she really?
Yep. And,
wow.
The pilot was her sweetheart, his sweetheart, in 1942, 1943, and he later married her, and he's passed away at this point. But he flew this airplane out of England over Germany many times, and this is the third one that he had. So he had Sleepy Jean 1, Sleepy Jean 2, and Sleepy Jean 3, and they were all pretty much the same style of nose art.
Yeah.
This signature is Bud Anderson, and he flew Old Crow, the P-51 Old Crow, in World War II, and he later then flew in Korea, was a test pilot, and then he flew F-100s in Vietnam.
And Bud Anderson's still with us, isn't he?
He still is. He's 95, 96 years old. And, he was at our event that we put on last year at Warbirds Over the Rockies, and that's where he signed this. He was our speaker for Warbirds Over the Rockies.
That's awesome. That's something to treasure right there. It might be time to build a new cowl and hang that one on the wall.
I think so. Actually, I have a second airplane now. I bought Frank Tiano's.
Oh, that's right. You got Frank's.
So I haven't flown it yet. We've been kind of refurbishing it. He's only had 5 or 6 flights on it. And it's going to be painted in green as Pistol Packin' Mama, which was the first P-47 that I built in 1979, I think. Something like that. So I'm going to.
And that's the one we were talking about yesterday that still is, to this day, one of my favorite video clips of you and I can't remember who else it was pulling the front end of that thing out of a cactus.
Bob Fry out of the 1/8 Air Force. We were pulling that airplane. He told me to do a touch and go because the plane took off and landed so well, and I did. And of course, the engine quit. So I ended up center punching a cactus in the U.S. Scale Masters, probably about 1980.
It was 80, mid 80s, I think.
Early 80s.
Yeah,
that's when it was. So I'm going to redo that airplane as Pistol Packin'.
That's awesome. And from a video I watched of that day, you coined a phrase that I use quite often in our hobby. We build them to fly them, and when we fly them, we're going to break them.
Yes, they
Because everybody gets asked, what happens when you lose a plane, especially something of these caliber? And we all know they have a date. It happens. You just have to be willing to accept it.
Yeah.
And if you can afford to build it, you can afford to fly it and replace it if needed.
Exactly.
So I have to ask,
Yes.
what brought you to Air Supremacy all the way from Colorado?
Chuck Hamilton. We've been flying buddies for a while. I've been going to different events with him over the last few years, and he does my advertising for Warbirds Over the Rockies, for my newspaper advertising and so forth. And he said, why don't you, we've gone to Fond du Lac and we've gone to Minnesota, the southern Minnesota Warbird event numerous times, and so he said, why don't you come to our event? So Wayne Lane, my buddy, we decided to pile everything in the trailer, and here we are.
And what do you think of the facility so far?
It's fabulous. It's anytime you've got a runway like this for Warbird with a tail dragger, it's a lot of fun. So that's why we came, was for the facility and the camaraderie. We come to events like this just to see old friends, and we've got a lot of friends in this neck of the woods that fly scale and classic airplanes. So all sharing the same love.
Well, on behalf of Air Supremacy and of course everybody from this area, we're glad to have you here. Kind of venturing away from your home state a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
But that's okay. Kind of coming back to some, like you said, some grassroots with a lot of guys you've been flying with throughout the years.
Dennis Crooks has been a good friend for decades. Literally decades. We're getting old together. Dennis and Linda. But that's what we do. We fly model airplanes.
Yep. And that's what we do best, which is some consider us kind of crazy, but it is what it is. Everybody's got their hobby and interests. Ours just happens to be big, expensive toy airplanes.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Good talking to you. Did I miss it?
It's in one piece.
I didn't even see it in the air. When did this happen?
That's because you don't hear it, Andy.
Oh. Okay, maybe next time.
Yes.
The SE-5A was from World War I. The Waco came after in the golden years between World War I and World War II. He's painted up in the British marking with a Royal Navy.
There you go.
I got to give a special thanks. Oh, we got the Hyper Super Cruiser out, backing out now. Tom Flint flying the T-47 has been in a lot of number of competitions with that. Very well strong. Thumbs up. High overhead. Followed by the Stuka. Turn out to go Stuka does. Got to be short. They can quite bounce like that. Good job, Ryan. That's actually fine. We use extensively in the early part of the American involvement with World War II. Here is coming down with the B-27 and the Spike out.
I think he might have split the fence out. Wildcat, not a Hellcat. He's by the landing.
Operator, we're down to it. 131.99.
Somehow I knew that was going to happen. Beautiful.
Taking off on 2. Taking the taxiway home. Landing on.
Can't get that gear to stay up. Oh well. Now you see, that was supposed to be my airplane, but Jeff wouldn't sell it to me. Maybe this year, you never know. Uh-oh, now the other gear won't come down. In trouble now, Jeffy.
hold.
Gonna see a one-wheel landing, folks.
Everybody hold.
Nice job, Jeff. And keeps the engine running. All right, it's back out at Air Supremacy 2018. Got a couple random spectators here. What do you think of the show so far?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Gonna come back next year?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think of the flying site so far?
Beautiful place to fly. This nice field here.
Awesome. If you can't make it this year, obviously if you're watching this video and you didn't make it, duh, make it next year. All right, guys, with me right now is Carl Bachhuber.
Shall I take my glasses off right now?
I'm not wearing mine. Carl's been in the hobby for how many years now, Carl?
More than you can count.
Probably. I can't count that high.
Like 60 years. Let's go with 60.
Now, for all of you that have seen my videos and a lot of other videos on YouTube, Carl is very well known for building not only very large airplanes, but for the most part, unusual things that you wouldn't typically see. Most people build Mustangs, 47s, B-25s. Carl always builds something very unique. When and why did all that start? Big airplanes and unusual ones.
Well, I think it's fun to go to a fly-in and see a lot of aircraft that normally you wouldn't see. I'm pretty jaundiced in my views of there are enough Mustangs and enough Thunderbolts, and you see them, but I like to build unusual airplanes that people haven't modeled much before, so that's what I do.
And you don't compete at all, right?
No, not that I know of.
I mean, it's hard for Carl to shy away without some kind of an award, but believe me, I think he deserves it because the planes that he builds are masterpieces, and you don't build from kits or anything. You do all the legwork yourself, so that's an engineering feat. I mean, these larger airplanes, you got to do it right for them to stay together in the air.
Well, don't overdo it.
Right.
It's a labor of love, and it isn't really much skill to it. It's just something that I've done and I like to do, and I enjoy building every bit as much as flying. And, I've got a bunch of good friends that are well along in their quest to do every plane that they like, and so am I. And I hope I can keep it up for a couple more years.
So, what keeps bringing you back to Air Supremacy? Because you've been with us pretty much since the first year, I think.
Yeah. Well, I like to go to fly-ins. I think there are too few of us anyway, and to me it's great to meet a bunch of people like yourself, and it seems to me that we're all kind of far away, so and we go to each other's events, and I have really appreciated what the few people at Goshen that have made this possible. And man, this is a great venue, great field, and a bunch of really nice people. So why do I keep coming? Precisely because of that.
That is the most common but honest answer. Everybody shows up to these events because, like Carl and I, we live states apart. So I can't just go to your house on a Friday afternoon and say hi. It's got to be, we meet it together at these events and just have a good time. And sometimes we barely even fly. We just sit around and shoot the crap all day.
That's right. It's a good way to put it, yes.
It's all about the camaraderie and maybe a little bit of flying in between.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Well, on behalf of Air Supremacy, we're glad to keep having you come back every year. And we don't see that we do see some new pilots every year, but for the most part, it's the core group of guys.
Well,
we got a great core group.
Yeah, we're old dinosaurs is what we are.
Well,
Yeah.
he is. I'm not quite.
Yeah, you are. You are the exception to the rule.
My soul is older than these guys, but
Okay, enough said.
we'll end it there. Ran out of snot?
Yeah, I didn't pull it out. Starting line now is with the Brian on
Beautiful. Oh, he's got brakes and everything.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
You're cleared for takeoff, Roundy. What about me? Wait a minute.
You gotta wait,
You
mister.
wanna go together? Just don't mix it up. I roll first, bud.
How did you get it?
Nice.
PlayStation 5, get a third for landing. We got Bob on landing.
And it has appeared he has a dead stick.
Nice job,
Good
Jeff.
job.
forgiving homes. They are not forgiving. Thank you.
One, clear taxi and home.
Hey gang, Andy Gideon here. This is Friday. Here's Supremacy over Goshen. We're gonna go take a look at a pretty cool airplane here.
Very popular.
I'm here with Mark Johnson right now. Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Partyville, near Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What keeps bringing you to Air Supremacy?
Stupid hobby is awesome.
What do you think of our flying site?
Yeah, it's great. This is one of the good ones. The ones we've been to so far this year, to Michigan and Chicago. This is a real good one. Michigan was really good. Chicago was rainy, but we made a good day of Saturday.
That's right, we did, didn't we?
Had a good time. So,
Awesome. And tell me about your Jenny real quick. Just
it's 33%. It's electric. So I'm running 12 cell, 10,000 milliamp, with like a 50cc equivalent electric motor.
okay.
It's got a belt gear reduction, swinging a 33-inch prop.
Wow.
It flies about 25 mile an hour.
Almost the same speed as the real one.
Yeah, the real one will fly about 75, so it's third scale, so
It's right there.
equivalent at 25. So
Yep.
it's different to see it fly because it's so slow.
It's scale.
And I gotta be so careful because I'm so much slower than everybody else, and I'm trying not to get hit at the same time as.
It stands out in the crowd up there.
Yep.
Well, it looks good, and we're glad to keep having you here.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Profile of